Hello, hello, welcome back. My name is Jack, the moist Australian that smiles back. Yeah. Today we are back for some more stories. Of course, Emily is back here as well. Emily, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Let's get started. My husband's brother just admitted he's in love with me. Me, 24 female, husband 38 male, brother-in-law 27 male. There's an interesting age gap between the husband and wife there, but let's get into it. So me, 24 female, husband 38, and his younger brother 27 all live together. I know it seems weird, but the house is really big. His brother has his own kitchen, living room, bathroom, etc. He lives with us because he got badly injured while on a deployment 2 years ago. He moved in while he still needed assistance with some things, and now while he's still getting used to his prosthetic. We get along really well. Until today, lol. My husband and I are trying for baby cycle tracking, fertility, vitamins, lots and lots of meditation and yoga to try and keep myself as least stressed out as possible. So basically, you're banging a lot.
Raw dogging it.
My brother-in-law comes up to me today and tells me that this is hard to say, but after watching his brother and me trying to start a family, he's realized he has feelings for me.
Ooh.
Time for a family sandwich.
Maybe they can travel to Paris together and see the Eiffel Tower.
I'm in such an uncomfortable position now. He asked me not to tell my husband, but of course I feel obligated to tell my husband something big like this. But I'm concerned my husband is going to tell his brother to leave, which I don't think I would be good for anyone, but maybe it's the right thing to do. I don't know. I'm so frustrated he said this to me. I feel like if they're, doing any world traveling, I think any bridge in general, they wouldn't really need to visit as much as just recreate. A bunch of updates. Let's see what the top comment says first. So top comment saying, your marriage is your priority here. As much as you like and want the best for your brother-in-law, he should always be in a very firm second place. Hopefully what's going on here is that it's less that he's in love with you and more in love with what you represent. A happy relationship with plans for expanding the family. Perhaps he thinks deep down that there's little chance of him finding that for himself due to his injuries, but he'll never get the chance to be proved wrong if he's still hanging about at your place and pining for you or the ideal he's attached to you. I think it might be a good idea for him to start moving towards a more independent living situation elsewhere. Yeah, I think regardless of his situation, the fact he's confessed this to his brother's partner, he's immediately like, you can't be there anymore, man.
Yeah.
That's not a place for you, not just for them and their comfort, but for your own mental health. Onto the edits. If it isn't clear, yes, I am telling my husband. I would never keep something like this from him. His phone is off while he is working. I've already texted him and told me to call me once he can. Edit 2. Yes, my husband is older. I also met him in my 20s when I was already graduated with a career. We have a 5-year plan to get me done with graduate school after the baby is born. I was not groomed. Well, that's nice to know.
Sounds like something someone who was groomed would say.
Final edit. Thank you, everyone. My husband just called and said he'll be home in a few minutes. I got so much great advice. I realized my brother-in-law isn't actually in love with me, probably just in infatuation with what his brother and I have, as well as some misplaced feelings since I help him out a lot and was the main one who helped him when he was recovering. I will explain this all to my husband. Him and his brother are very close. I'm sure we will work this through. That's what families do. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Okay, you say that's what families do, but you read any stories here on Reddit and you know that coming together and compromising and working things out is usually not what happens at all. But, points for the positivity. Yeah, yeah, there's people in the comments here. Hang on a minute, what's this all about, huh? You could consider leaving hubby for his bro because you would be closer in age with him. You have a hard decision to make. I mean, there's a bit more to a relationship than just being at a closer age. Frick your brother-in-law. Frick your brother-in-law. Frick your brother-in-law?
Punctuation, isn't it great?
Jesus. Well, I think you guys should postpone the baby making until after the funeral. At least then you can use all that empty space for the baby's bedroom and playrooms, etc.
Well.
Wow. That's an opinion on the internet. Yeah, again, the fact he said this, he needs to move out, just even healthiness of themselves. It's not even about you really at this point, it's about them and just... Am I the a-hole for forcing my husband to teach my daughter husband duties? My daughter, 14-year-old female, has always been a tomboy and prefers doing traditionally male activities. She likes skiing, hockey, hiking, and video games. It's been a pain point between her and her father, my husband. He wants her to be more ladylike, and she does things to intentionally tick him off, like refusing to wear dresses, or going to a sleepover and coming back with a short haircut. The scandal!
I love how that doesn't affect him at all.
Yeah. Less hair to shampoo, you slut! My husband and my son are starting renovating the house, and my daughter asked to join. My husband is absolutely against this, saying she could overstrain herself or get hurt.
She plays hockey and she goes skiing. I think she's good.
She's already taken woodworking in her classes, and she's more responsible than my son. If anyone is losing a digit from the saw, it's more likely him. I argued with my husband, telling him she will probably be a homeowner one day, and knowing how to do basic things around the house is important. He argues she will have her husband to do all those things. I got angry because my dad was the same way. He was a mechanic, but didn't teach me anything about cars because my husband or boyfriend would do it for me, and the girls don't need to know it. Just who got stuck with a flat tire and no data in the middle of the woods? A 19-year-old me, and it sucked. I put my foot down and forced him to include our daughter, teaching her how to change a ceiling light and use basic tools. He maintains it's not necessary to teach her how to do these things, and she is making them slower on finishing the house, and I'd rather they be slow and teach her, and it's not like they are in a rush. Yeah, I'm really confused here as to how you as a father would not want your child to be as prepared for life as possible.
Even renting. Like, you need to change lights when you rent an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And basic tools. What if you buy an IKEA set? Sometimes you need a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Or a drill.
I really don't get, like, there are so many reality shows out there nowadays where you show these partners who are building houses, renovating together, and they're, you know, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're a good team together. Like, where's this idea coming from that no man likes a woman who can help him around the house renovating? Like, renovating can take ages. It can be exhausting. It can be a pain in the ass and stressful. Like, to have a second hand helping you with it all? Hell yes. Top comment though. Your husband sounds like he teleported in from 1953 with this bullshit. He thinks your 14-year-old daughter will strain herself if she picks up a hammer. You are Nata, but your husband sure sounds like one. Keep sticking up for your daughter. She sounds awesome. Oh no, not strained ovaries. One time I looked at a hammer and my fallopian tubes just went, nope. I hate mowing the lawn because my cervix just has conniptions. Childbirth is nothing compared to the strain of changing light bulbs. Sorry, my sarcasm got the better of me. Totally get this. I'm a guy. Once I tried to stitch a worn-out sock and my testicles retracted all the way up to my throat. I had to rest for several days after. True story. Yeah, telling it like it is. Last time I, a man, tried doing some cooking, I almost chopped my wiener. You won't find me anywhere near the kitchen again. Did no one ever warn you about the dangers of cooking in the nude? Hot tip, don't cook bacon naked. Yeah, don't cook bacon naked if you're a wussy. That's how you live the fun life, with a bit of danger. Greasy, stingy, hot danger. Oh, interesting. Everyone sucks here. Your husband for obvious reasons, but you for the intentionally ticking him off by wearing the clothes she likes comment. What? Why?
Wait, what's that other Utah?
This Utah seems to just double down on the whole idea of like, let's not acknowledge that anything is gender specific, which isn't really what the OP is, or the mother here is trying to say. She's not saying these are male-only activities. She's just challenging the sexist mindset that the husband has. Like, yes, of course, house renovations isn't gender specific, but the husband thinks it is. That's the problem. Yeah, overall, just, Nata. Again, another pretty obvious one. Just fun to see such stupid circumstances. Would I be the a-hole if I announced specific rules for my wedding? I'm currently very mildly planning my wedding, meaning I'm still in the idea stage for specifics. While I'm still not sure about a few things that I want, I do know that there are things I absolutely can't stand that I know some of my family would probably do. Rather than not inviting the group and dealing with the drama of that, I figured I could possibly send a list of rules for attending my wedding. Here is the list I have. 1. For gifts, I only want things from the registry. I do not require or care about having a gift.
I feel like that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Especially you reach a certain point in like your life where people have been living on their own or with their partner for long enough that they have everything they need.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they only need like a few big ticket items or very specific things.
If you can't handle not mentioning God or Jesus for the duration of the wedding, you'll be asked to leave because I find it disrespectful at my wedding. I am a different religion from my extended family and am having a religious ceremony. 3. If you bring children under 12 or a date you barely know, they will not be allowed in. 4. If you record or take pictures, you will be asked to leave. 5. If you complain to me or my husband about anything that is simply a matter of taste, you will be asked to leave. Really, what it boils down to, other than the bit about the registry, is I just won't be tolerating disrespectful or unnecessary stress. I know it might seem like a lot, but if I'm spending money and trying to have a happy day, I would sooner ask people to leave for ruining anything for me, important things and emergencies aside, than I would just deal with it. I definitely find a better or nicer way to word things, but would I be the a-hole? Now, there's quite a few edits here, so we'll just go straight into them. Part of me is deeply hoping they just wouldn't come because of it. I anticipate just not inviting them to lead to worse responses than the rules will. Edit 2. I understand there are nicer way to say these things, and I would do that. I won't really be policing, just hoping it would set a standard. Now, I'm well aware I sound like a bitch with how I put it, because wedding planning is terrifying, and I'm still trying to figure out how to run things smoothly. Edit number 3. Rules 2 to 5 will be for the ceremony only. I get it if you disagree with me, but I'm really just looking for constructive criticism as someone who's never had to plan a wedding and has never even gone to one as an adult. I'd really appreciate feedback without the purposeful insults. It can be harsh, but no need to wish me divorce or loneliness. Damn, people are actually doing that in the comments? That's pretty harsh.
That's very aggressive.
Yeah. This top comment, we love and appreciate each and every one of you for your unique contributions. I guess, yeah, that's just an example of what to say, really. Yeah, they just pretty much reword the rules to be a bit more respectful and welcoming and inviting as a suggestion of things. But I mean, look, again, this is one of the things that it's your wedding. You can have these standards. I don't see how these are wrong. It does become that thing I really wonder with what their family is like, if they feel they need to be so strict with the words of Jesus and God and, you know, spreading their religion or communicating their religion while at this wedding. I don't know, just seems a bit petty in my opinion.
I mean, it depends how they go about saying it.
Yeah, I think it comes down to that. Just how you execute it is really what defines it. Overall, it is pretty split across the board. There's a lot of people saying you are the a-hole, but I think that's just people finding it rude to not be allowed to, take photos during the reception?
That's a very reasonable request.
Yeah.
Everybody has like a switched off ceremony all the time.
I think that's what the OP did edit and clarify too. Like, those rules were only for the ceremony, not so much for when you're having dinner and partying on with your fellow friends and family, which makes sense. Yeah, that's very understandable. I think, OP, you're going to have a very good wedding, and they're very legitimate rules to respect and understand their own mental health. Am I the a-hole for reaching out to my roommate's dad behind her back? I have lived with my roommate for 8 months. Prior to agreeing to be roommates, I was clear on a few things. Keep common areas clean, no weed, and check with each other before having guests over. I'm in grad school right now and also have a serious physical illness, so I really need quiet space to study and focus. Soon in, she started breaking all of these rules. I tried to just be easygoing because I didn't want to rock the boat. But then one weekend, she had 6 of her friends fly out. She said they would be here for 2 days. They stayed for over a week. They trashed the apartment, smoked weed, were up all night partying, and I didn't sleep. I decided I would speak with her the day they left. But when that day came, she sent me a text. By the way, my other 2 friends are flying out for the weekend. Once again, it wasn't a weekend. They came on a Tuesday, trashed the place worse than the 6 girls that came the first time, ate my food. I couldn't cook in the kitchen. And one of them had anal smecks on the couch with some random guy she brought back. Wow. How do you know what kind of smecks it was specifically?
Maybe she walked out.
Oh, gosh. I finally texted my roommate that I'm not okay with this and I want to meet to talk. First, she said no. Then she said we could meet after her friends leave. I asked when that was, and she said it was another week. So she lied about it being a weekend. I could not go another week in this, so she was really rude over text. So I said, can we at least talk for 10 minutes to clear the air, and then when they leave we can talk more? I just didn't want to feel uneasy in my own space. She said, as I said, I'll talk to you when they leave. So I lost it. I emailed her dad, who pays her rent, basically explaining my frustrations. I said I want to work it out with her, but she won't meet with me. I asked if he could talk to her so that we can reach some kind of resolve. This went horribly. The next day, she screamed at me for doing so, and now everything is messed up. In regards to me sending the email to her dad, Am I the a-hole? Do you think she's the a-hole, Emily, for
No.
overstepping the housemate?
I'd be sending the dad a cleaning fee and a grocery bill.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, the fact that dad's paying the rent, if anything, it's not so much her that's, the tenant, it's the dad that's the tenant, really.
What's the bet it's happened to another place before and that's why she's so angry?
Yeah, sounds like it. Nata, if she can't act like an adult and stick to simple and reasonable rules she agreed to, you treat her like the teenager she is. Hopefully Daddy got her grounded. But next time someone breaks rules, don't try to be easygoing. People look for that permission to do whatever they want. Also, at this point, kick her out. It's not worth it. Yeah, I agree with that. You set the rules already. It doesn't matter how strict those rules were. The fact she agreed with them, she has to stick by them now. If she breaks them, you have every right to be like, well, you break the rules, bye-bye. Ooh, wow, look, so many comments that have been hidden. What? No, I used to run trains on my roommate's sister. She's older than us. He has no idea still. So that's why she should have to deal with someone who doesn't clean up their apartment because you had sex with your roommate's sister. Okay. Wow, you'd be a great judge. Everyone sucks here. Your roommate sucks because she's a terrible roommate. But with a terrible roommate, you either lay down the law, get your landlord involved, or break your lease. You don't tattle on them to their parents. Who does that? Of course, everything is going to be messed up. You become that girl. You guys are both adults. Act like it. There's that thought there. More people saying that everyone sucks here, and the Reddit is full of teenagers giving terrible advice. If she's an adult, no matter who is paying her rent, you don't have a right to email them to complain. That does make you an a-hole to me. B, the agreement about people or noise. If that's just a handshake agreement between roommates and not in your lease, you're suck old.
Something out of luck? Shit out of luck.
Yeah, there it is. It's annoying, but you can't make her follow your rules. Anything she's breaking that's in the lease is an actual problem. Now that I do agree with. That becomes a case where you need these things written down as part of a lease agreement thing, or just something written down that has been proven that you've discussed this and you've agreed to it. Of course, your leasing office isn't going to evict. Courts take months and there is presumably only 4 months left on your lease. They would get the eviction about the same time it ends. D, your rules kind of suck. I need quiet and space to study. Like, that's cool, but it makes it sound like you want the apartment to usually always be a quiet space when that's not realistic when you live with anyone else who is living their lives. Again, that's a true point. It is a bit of a vague request. I need quiet and space to study. Well, I mean, when aren't you studying? When are they going to know? When do they get to, watch TV or actually have friends over and chat and hang out and that kind of thing? You need to kind of specify those moments, or at least communicate with them. Like, hey, I'm studying at this amount of time throughout the day. I'll let you know when I'm doing that. And if that is, when you have friends over, we can work around where I study at this time instead. Yada, yada, yada. Her behavior sucks. Her behavior sucks. She's a bad roommate, but you threatening her financially by going to her parents is such a dick move, especially because you can give me 2 incidences in 8 months that are real problems. Yeah, I mean, overall does sound like a kind of valid opinions to make. I still think Natar though, just maybe because it's biased, because I've experienced such kind of roommates where it's like, all right, I'm just not gonna tolerate this and I'm gonna say bye-bye to you.
I don't know, I'm a bit torn now. I mean, if Dad was paying the rent, then I think it was probably wise, because she's not going to get any repercussions for the actions that she takes because Dad doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
So, and obviously nothing's really affecting her financially, so she can just keep on doing what she wants to do. But I mean, if they're in college, they do need quiet and a space to study, so that makes sense. Yeah.
I think it becomes that thing where I would have to agree it is actually a petty tactic, but I think it's one of those tactics where you're kind of valid in your pettiness. It's acceptable pettiness, because you're having to lose, your study space, your quiet space, your comforts, your ability to actually do what you are paying thousands of your own dollars to do. It's only fair that she has to suffer as well, just, in what is making her suffer, Go after her parents' money. She's going after your literal ability to study. Then you dish it back to her just as hard. Just not anally, because that's it's on the couch. Come on. It's in someone else's couch too. Respect, people. That is the end of today's video. Thank you as always for watching. Thanks for reaching the end. You're amazing. You should like this video to show me that you're here and I know you exist. Always fun having you. Emily, say bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, goodbye. And we'll see you in the next video. Ta-ta.